Greetings, everyone. I'm Dr. Rachel Meixner, and today I'm going to show you how to use Magic School or ChatGPT to create a unit plan. So often in a special education class, I have a curriculum and it gives me material, but it doesn't necessarily give me daily plans. So I have to translate that curriculum into what I'm going to do each day. So, what I would highly recommend is if you have a guaranteed curriculum, use the learning targets and ideas from that curriculum to work with Magic School and ChatGPT. If you don't have that luxury and you're just going off of student IEP goals, it can be really helpful to use these tools to give your class some structure. So I am going to show you first how to do a unit plan using Magic School because it is my favorite way to do that. So you're going to go into your search bar and type in the word unit and you will get the unit plan generator. Now it asks you to enter the grade level of your students, the length, so how many school days, the topic, context, and any standards that you want to align to. So let's imagine that I'm working with a high school class, so we'll say 10th grade. I want to do a 2-week unit, so if I have them 5 days a week, that would be 10 school days. And let's imagine that this is an independent living class. And what I'm trying to teach is, let's say, the students have goals in what they can do to be more independent in their household, okay? So, taking care of your home and basic chores, right? For the context, I'm going to say students have developmental disabilities and are learning about independence and life skills in my class. So just very basic, very simple. I'm not going to include any standards. However, I would say you can copy and paste IEP goals and objectives to be their standards because really we want to make sure that we're targeting those goals and objectives with our specialized instruction. I will remind you that before you enter any goals or objectives, remove the student's name because we never ever want to put information that includes a student's name into an AI tool. When I hit generate, it will give me my 2-week plan about taking care of your home and basic chores. So day 1 is an introduction, day 2 is cleaning, day 3 is laundry, cooking simple meals, grocery shopping. Then the next week we have organizing your space, home maintenance, time management, environmental awareness, and then review and reflection. It also includes culminating activities, and then it gave some life skills standards. So these are, aligned to the unit plan that it developed for me. So I love this because it kind of gives me a skeleton. Like I said, even if you have curriculum, now I can pull from that curriculum and I can figure out how I want to teach this material to my students. Another option to create a unit plan is I could use ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is wonderful for letting me create, my specific outline of what I'm going to be teaching. I like the unit plan generator on Magic School a little bit better because it tends to be more detailed. But imagine that, for ChatGPT, I just want to make an outline for maybe the whole trimester of what I'm going to be teaching. So I could plan out my whole units and kind of scope and sequence so I have a structure to follow. So I could say, create a calendar for, and again, I'll do an independent living class, which covers, I'll just rattle off some topics. So we said household chores and upkeep, navigating the community, we'll say other topics in independent living, self-advocacy, personal care, And of course, I'll have a list because I'll have the students' IEPs and their learner-based needs, right? Um, I'm going to say use the attached calendar to plan September. And then I also like to give ChatGPT a little bit more detail just because it's not only made for teachers. So I like to say provide a word of the day, question of the day, because I like to do that with my students, and lesson plan ideas for each week. And I like a bulleted list format for this because sometimes I've noticed it tries to make a table. I don't want it in a table because that's harder to work with. Then if I hit my little plus, I can go to add photos and files. And here I have downloaded my school year calendar. So it will read this calendar and develop my unit plan for September based on that September calendar. So here we go. Let's see if it can handle all of those requests. So it says, here's a September calendar. Awesome. So instead of giving me a word of the day, it gave me just one word of the week, and a question of the day, it gave me just one for each week. It sees that I have 5 weeks, but it didn't understand word of the day or question of the day. So I am going to say, as I like to, this is great, but I have students 5 days per week. Please regenerate and add a word of the day and question of the day for 5 days per week. And you see I have typos, that's no problem. And let's see if it can do that. There we go. So now I have a really detailed unit plan. It has a word for each day, a question for each day, an idea for a lesson. And so I got it to the level of detail that I wanted, and there we go. My month of September is planned. In future videos and discussions, I'll show you how to take this and expand it into actual lesson plans so that you have even more detail and materials that you can use. But what I would do is I would take this plan, I would copy it, and I would use that as a structure as I am planning my time with my classes. All right, wonderful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful.